More and more often, I'm being approached by families who already have an international health insurance with a very similar scenario. They are relocating from the UK to Dubai. And on paper, it all sounds straightforward. I mean, the plan is international, that covers UAE, so what could possibly go wrong? And well, not everything is as simple as it seems. Hi, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Kirill. I'm the founder of Albatross Healthcare. We're a UK-based insurance brokerage who's specialising in, surprise, surprise, international private medical insurance. We don't just sell policies, but we actually help our clients with claims, the paperwork, the small print, and really everything that they need our help with. And we've just recently been nominated for the Best IPMI Broker of the Year by one of the most prestigious industry awards in the whole world, really. So yeah, we know a few things about IPMI and how it works. Anyway, let's review today's case. So the family has an excellent policy with April International. They have full cover for inpatient, outpatient cancer, a bit of dental, and a few nice extras. And in the UK, this policy costs them just over £9,000 per year for the entire family. And yes, it works perfectly fine in Dubai. They can use it there without any issues, but the but is the husband needs to apply for the Emirates ID because he's setting up a business there. And here is the catch. The Dubai's GDRFA don't tend to recognize foreign issued international policies for visa purposes. So yes, even if it's a fully international and covers the UAE, in most scenarios, to be accepted as part of the residency visa application, your policy has to be issued via the local branch of that insurer in Dubai. And local plans, well, they come with local rules. Why? I mean, in short, Dubai's equivalent of our FCA here, called DHA, they don't allow insurers to apply many of the exclusions that are perfectly standard here in the UK or in most Europe. So, for example, if you buy a policy here, insurer might say, Mr. Customer, we're happy to offer you terms, however, not for that particular condition you already had before. If you stay symptoms-free for, 2 to 5 years, we might reconsider. In Dubai, that approach isn't acceptable. So, in essence, the regulator says to all of the providers, dear insurer, if you want to operate in our wonderful country, either cover it or factor in the additional risk related to extra costs that might arise from that medical condition in another way. And how do you think insurers are factoring that in? Well, simple, they just crank up the price. So what was the cost for our family in question for almost identical plan from the same insurer but issued via their Dubai's office? The answer is £19,000 per year. Now, you might ask, are they actually out of their mind? And the answer is no, they're not. I mean, April isn't doing anything unusual here. That's just how it works across most providers in Dubai. And to be fair, the difference isn't just in price. I mean, Dubai issued plans often function differently too. On their current UK policy, the family pays the first £2,500 themselves and then submit everything for reimbursement. Anything above that threshold get pre-authorized and paid directly by the insurer to that hospital. On Dubai's plan, that system is still in place, but there is also a huge network of clinics and hospitals that bill insurer directly. So all you need to do is just show up your card and yeah, it's all handled. So it's far more convenient, but also significantly more expensive. And let's be honest, not everyone, no matter how deep your pockets are, should we say, able to or willing to pay for a premium for that convenience. So what did we do with the client? I know that a typical broker might have just said to them, just switch the whole family to Dubai's policy and be done with it. We sat down with the client and decided what actually matters and what we will do next. So the outcome of that conversation was the husband is moved to a locally placed IPMI policy in Dubai because he needed it for the visa purposes. But wife and kids who won't be working in the UAE and still going to spend plenty of time at their London home, they are staying on their original policy. So the total cost with this approach, £13,500 per year. So that's far more sensible and barely any changes to their cover. So what's the takeaway from that video? A plan might be international and work globally, but visa requirements is a whole other story, and local regulations can flip everything on its head. That's where the real knowledge of an international broker is. It's not just about knowing the plans, it's about knowing how these plans interact with local laws and regulations, and how to build a solution around real-world client needs in a specific countries. So if you are relocating to Emirates or anywhere else for that matter, and you want to know how your policy will work over there and whether it will tick all of the right boxes for immigration or visa purposes, then drop me a message. Let's have a chat before you end up paying double or getting a visa refusal because no one told you about what actually matters. Speak soon.